Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today, I want to talk to you about, does inflation increase the workers' compensation medical mileage reimbursement amount? Let's first talk about what is workers' compensation medical mileage reimbursement in Georgia. In Georgia's workers' compensation law, insurance companies have to pay for medical treatment and testing that you need as a result of your injury with certain authorized doctors. They cover the cost of that. Well, part of that benefit under Georgia's law also includes insurance companies reimbursing you for your mileage costs back and forth to the doctor to get medical treatment and testing. Now, this mileage reimbursement is paid out at a certain amount per mile, and it includes transportation to doctors or pharmacists or physical therapists or MRIs or other testing. Really, any sort of medical treatment and testing that's covered under workers' compensation, you should be reimbursed for your mileage cost to that medical treatment and testing. It can sometimes also include the cost of meals or lodging. Now, this happens very rarely because it has to be basically medical treatment or testing that takes place over a long period of time. So your normal doctor's visits or pharmacy visits or MRI trips are probably not going to qualify for that. But if you take a trip for medical treatment or testing that takes a while, you'll definitely want to check into whether you should be reimbursed for your meals and lodging, and be sure and keep the receipts for those if you have them. Now, how much does workers' compensation have to reimburse you for mileage in Georgia? Under Georgia's workers' compensation law in 2024, the current mileage reimbursement rate is 45 cents per mile. It used to be a lower amount. It was recently increased. Now, does workers' compensation mileage reimbursement go up with inflation? Not necessarily. Under Georgia's workers' compensation law, the mileage reimbursement rate is not tied to a cost of living adjustment. It does not necessarily go up because the price of fuel or transportation goes up. Instead, the mileage reimbursement rate is set by a rule of the Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation. So in order for the mileage reimbursement rate to increase, the State Board of Workers' Compensation has to decide that it will be increased. Now, a last thing that's important to know is whether your mileage reimbursement is going to be automatically paid to you by the insurance company. No, it's not. Mileage reimbursement is something that you have to submit in order to get reimbursed for. So either you will need to submit it or an attorney representing you will have to submit it on your behalf. And once it's submitted, there's a certain period of time the insurance company has to reimburse you for that payment. If they don't reimburse it timely, they may owe some late penalties associated with that. Now, from your perspective, another important thing to remember is that there are deadlines on submitting your mileage reimbursement request. Those deadlines start to run from when you went to the doctor. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the free consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.